Hey everyone, I'm Memo. Welcome to my channel, Finding Memo, where you'll find me finding treasure with my trusty metal detector, as well as doing all things treasure related. And Cap is with me today. I wanted to be on the video. Today we're going to do something that a viewer asked me to do quite a while ago. Then life happened. I had an accident on my scooter, then my youngest daughter got married, then it was Thanksgiving, then it was Christmas, and it was New Year's, and now I'm getting back into my regular schedule. And what we're going to do today is a comparison of these two coils. So stay tuned. So I currently have two main detectors that I'm using. The first is the Equinox 600. It came with the 11-inch coil, but as you've probably seen on my videos from a while back, it broke. I've since been able to fix it, now going on the fourth fix, but I decided to buy the 6-inch coil to use meanwhile on the Equinox 600. This is Minelab's 6-inch coil. It's the EQX06. I also, a couple of years ago now, when it first came out, bought the Xterra Elite, and I got the Expedition package. It came with two coils, the 11-inch and the 8-inch. This is the VX8. It's the 8-inch coil by Minelab for that detector. And a viewer asked me to do a comparison of them on the Xterra Elite. This coil, this 6-inch coil, you can use, even though it's for the Equinox, you can use it on the Xterra Elite. And of course this V8X was made for the Xterra Elite. So we're going to do a comparison of which of these two small coils is actually best, if it's the one that's made for it, or if it's the supposedly more sensitive EQX06 for the Equinox series, the 600, 800, and I presume the 7 and the 900 now, although I don't have those detectors or that information to be absolutely sure. So let's do it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just simply take a look at these two coils, and I want to show you a couple of differences. Obviously the 6-inch coil, as you can tell, is circular, whereas the 8-inch coil is more of an oval shape. So you get the 8 inches on the front to back part, but you only get 5.5 inches across ways, whereas with the circular 6-inch coil you've got 6 inches pretty much all around. It's actually a little wider than 6 inches across it, 6.25 inch across. So there is a shape difference. There's also a slight build difference too. If you remember, those of you who have or have had the Equinox detectors, the first one, the 600 and the 800, one of the problems with the 11-inch coil was that these little fins where it connects to the shaft of the detector would break really easily. They've since fixed that on the newer coils, for the 700 and the 900. That was the main reason that I ended up buying this small 6-inch coil in the first place, because my fins broke. I had to just keep, and I've had to just keep 3D printing this piece here and just gluing it back together every couple of months when it finally just falls apart. So if you look here, and I'll try and show you this up close, but if you look here on the fins on the 6-inch coil, they're the same width all the way down, and it's basically, now I'm going to switch from inches to centimeters to metric. It's 2 millimeters. It's 2 millimeters all the way around on the top and on the edge. But now let's go to the 8-inch coil for the Xterra Elite, and you'll immediately see that they've beefed it up. On the very top, it is a fraction over 2 millimeters, but as it goes down to the base where it connects to the coil itself, it's almost 4 millimeters, so almost double by the time you get to the bottom here. So it's a lot more sturdy. Now, does that make a difference on the smaller coils? Not really, because it's not as much resistance. Like if you're in a river or in the water where you're swishing it back and forth, and you've got a lot of resistance to the coil. On these smaller coils it's less than on the bigger coils, and of course the weight difference between the larger and the smaller coil is quite notable as well. So the actual shaft of the detector is not taking as much stress and transferring it to these fins. So, you know, is that really a benefit on the smaller coils? I'm not sure. I suppose build quality wise, yes, it's always better to be a bit more sturdy, but practicality of it probably not so much. Otherwise the build quality is about the same. Minelab, really good detectors, really good quality detectors. Both these have the skid plate on the bottom. The 6-inch coil does have the screw, connecting screw that goes all the way through, and so you have this cap on the end, whereas the 8-inch coil screws straight into this wing, which is threaded. You don't have an end cap on the other end. Now, as you can see, both Minelab coils, so the connectors are exactly the same. There's no problem there. Goes right in there. No adapters or anything like that. Let's hook up the 6-inch coil, and believe it or not, I have not hooked it up before. I don't know what's going to happen. I presume it's going to work because they say it's going to work, but let's try it out. Okay, I might speed this up on the video for you so you don't have to sit there watching me put it together, but basically it's that simple. First we're going to put this part here on the bottom, and then we just wind the cable around and put it into the connector on the control box. Okay, we'll leave that fairly loose for now. Sorry about the traffic noise, I'm outside my house because my son David is with us at the moment and he's taken over my work shed. He's got a car project going. He's doing up an old Dodge Dart, 1970 Dodge Dart. So there is stuff everywhere. Okay, we just line up the connector and screw it in nice and tight, and supposedly we're ready to go. Let's see. Okay, so let's turn it on and see what happens. If it explodes, then you probably won't see this video. Okay, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to put it in, let's just put it in park 1 for now. Hook up all iron. Just make sure there's nothing there, and we'll set the ground balance. And then we're going to go to the electromagnetic cancellation. And we should be ready to go. It's a bit unstable. We got something there, that's a pretty good signal actually. Let's see, have a screw here, put that down. Yep, picking that up, no problem. Not sure why we're getting so much interference. I am by some electrical cables. We don't usually get that much noise. I'll have to compare that with the 8-inch coil and see if that's a problem that we're having there. Okay, that's a bit quieter. Okay, let's do some testing and see what we find. Okay, so this is what we got for the test. This is a very delicate silver bracelet that I found at the beach. This is a 1 cent, so that's bronze, Mexican 1 cent from the 1800s. This is a 5 cent, 1910, Mexican, well that's nickel. Then I've thrown in there a dime, a mercury dime, 19, I think it says 23. We've got an aluminium religious pendant, lead musket ball, and a bronze button. And I'm going to test these with the 6-inch and the 8-inch coil and see what kind of results we get. Okay, let's start. We're going to start with the coins. This is essentially an air test that I'm doing, so take that into account too. We've got our measuring stick here to give us an idea of how high we can get before we lose the signal. Turn on the Minelab Xterra Elite. We've got the 6-inch coil on it, and the settings I'll put on the screen. They're going to be the same for both coils. This is the 1 cent bronze. So there we're getting a good strong signal. It's giving me 84. Yeah, 83, 84. Getting it right about there. That's about 17 centimeters, which would be about 7 inches. Between 17 and 20 centimeters, or 7 and 8 inches. Next, let's try the 5-cent nickel. Okay, that's a bit more of a broken signal. 10, 11, 8, 9. Now it's gone clearer. It's gone up to 17, 14, 22. And we'll lose it right at about 15 centimeters. That's going to be about 6.5 inches. We lose the Mexican nickel 5-cent coin. Next we'll go with the 10-cent, the dime, silver dime. That's giving me 78, 79 signal. Easily finding it. Oh, it's dropping off fast though. Yeah, that's just below 15 centimeters. Just below 15 centimeters. Remember, I'm on 18 sensitivity, so I don't have it cranked up all the way. That's because of all the interference I'm getting. So that would be about 6 inches, just a little bit less. Okay, we got the 8-inch coil now on the Xterra Elite. Exact same settings. I did do a ground balance because obviously it's a different coil. It ground balanced a little lower than the 6-inch coil, and I also did the electromagnetic cancellation on it. Let's see how it works. First coin is the bronze 1 cent from the 1800s Mexican. Gives me a clear 84, 85. Let's keep moving up there. Losing it right there. That is about 17. Yeah, that's about 17 centimeters, or 7 and a little bit inches. 7.25 maybe inches. Next we're going with the Mexican nickel 5-cent. A little smaller than the American nickel. Really low signal on that. 10, 9, 11. It's going a little higher as I get higher up. 20, bit bouncy that one. It's having trouble finding it. And right there, I'm losing it. It's about the same, 16, 17 centimeters. It's about 7 inches roughly on that. Now let's go with the silver dime, 1923 mercury dime. Yep, nice high signal, 79.80. Let's move it up. Right there, start to lose it. Well, that's a little lower than I would have thought. That's about 15, 16 centimeters there, which is about 6 inches. 6 inches on the silver dime. Okay, now let's go with some of the other objects. So first one is a bronze button. Put it face down with the shank sticking up. Nice strong signal, 37, 38. 37, 38, 40. And it croaks out at about 18 centimeters. 18 to 20 centimeters. That's going to be about 6.5 to 7 inches on the bronze button. Let's go next with the musket ball, lead musket ball. Yep, another strong signal, 49.50. Hope that's going out a bit earlier, a bit lower. Right there, it's barely getting it right there, which is just about 15, maybe under 15 centimeters. So we're talking about 6 inches, maybe just a tad less than 6 inches. Okay, let's go with the aluminium or aluminum pendant, really just pendant. $63, $64. Bring it up a bit more. Just barely getting something. Right there, that's about 12, 13 centimeters on that. So about 5 to 5.5 inches. Now let's try this last one. I'm interested to see about this because this is a silver bracelet, very delicate silver bracelet. It's in a capsule because I don't want to get it dirty or lose it. Let's see if it'll even pick it up. Well, we do get something, but that's very low signal for silver, 5. Yeah, look, we've lost it already. That's about 8 to 10 centimeters that we lose that. That would be right around about 4 inches. 4 inches for the silver bracelet. Now we'll go with the other artifacts. First, the bronze button. Exact same, face down with the shank pointing up. Yep, nice strong signal, 38. Oh wow, that's pretty high there. Right about there. Yeah, right about 20 centimeters we're losing it there. That would be just a tad over 8 inches. Just a tad over 8 inches. Next we'll go with the musket ball, lead musket ball. 50, 52, 47. Now it's getting a bit jumpy. Having trouble getting it, and right about there is where I'm losing it. 15, 16 centimeters. So that would be around the 6 inch mark, roughly. Next is the aluminum or aluminium pendant, religious pendant. 64, 65, 63, 66. Now it's gone into the 70s, 74, but we're losing it fast. Yeah, right about there. Yeah, 16, 17 centimeters, so just over 6 inches for the pendant. And let's try the silver bracelet now. Okay, another low signal. 5, pretty solid 5, 6. Ooh, it's losing it fast. Right there. Barely anything. That is 12. Between 10 and 12 centimeters, which would be just over 4 inches, 4.25 inches on the air test. I also did some off-camera experimenting just to see how I could push the coils to the absolute limit, and using the 10 cent, the dime, the silver dime, the 8-inch coil performed the best in Park 2, but I could not get it above 18 sensitivity. Obviously that's my situation, the soil, the interference and so on that's around, so results will vary. The 6-inch coil in field 2, I was able to get it up to 20 sensitivity, and that added about another centimeter or another quarter to half an inch, maybe quarter of an inch on the depth. So the 6-inch coil technically did perform slightly better than the 8-inch coil. Okay, here we go. This is probably some of the more important information on these coils, and that is the cost. And there is a huge difference in the cost. 6-inch coil, EQX06, that's for the Equinox series detectors, also works with the Xterra Elite. On Amazon, as I'm filming this video, which is January 2026, $225. $225. The V8X, specifically for the Xterra series detectors, so the Elite and the Pro, on Amazon, January 2026, $125. That's $100 difference for a possible 1 to 2 centimeter difference here. So take that into account. So you guys saw for yourselves the tests that we did. Yes, they were air tests, but they were under the exact same conditions for both coils, exact same settings, and then I fiddled about a little bit to see if I could get any difference using some different settings for each individual coil. I don't know. For me, if you're using the Xterra Elite, save yourselves $100. If you want a small coil, get this one, the V8X. And I think Cap is agreeing with me over there on that one. Save yourself the $100. There's really very, very, very little difference in between the performance of both those coils. Yes, I know, you're barking in my video. Come on then. Come on up. There we go. Let's say goodbye then. You've seen the video, hope it helps. You might get some slightly different results, I suppose, but as far as the tests go, I think they were fairly fair, and the cost, well, that really says it all. So from me and Cap, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you as always on the